Hello everybody, I'm here with a Sears Kenmore. It's a 158 series. Model number is 15 right there. Okay. She had a lot of issues in her machine. The belt was starting to fall apart and cave in. It was all coated with black stuff all the way down through there, so I cleaned it all out, then put a new belt in. I gave her a new tire because this thing is hard as a rock. I couldn't even barely bend it. Couldn't even barely get it off. It's kind of really flat on one side. You don't really want a flat tire. Had a lot of thread and bad oil and bad grease that I took out and put all new in. And I always give these little baggies full of stuff so people can see what's going on. I took her old needle off. It had a spur on it. Put a brand new needle in, no charge. Let's see if we can go over this a little bit. This is how you use the bobbin rewinder. Okay, you put your thread in here. You go this way. You go around this little guy here, right there. You put the thread in that and come back this way. You make sure you thread your bobbin, and then you click it, and then you run the machine and fill it up. Okay. Then when you're done, you rethread the sewing machine by older spools. You always come from the back to the little corkscrew there, to this little corkscrew there, going in here. Make sure your foot is in the highest position, opens the chambers. If it's down, causes the tension chambers to close, and you will not get your thread in. So you want it up. Then you go through this little hole here, up to the uptake, down into this little lever here, into that place, into there. And yes, I have the needle up today. And then you want to thread it, okay? And then when you're ready to sew, you want to drop this down, okay? Your feed dogs are located here. This is the bottom feed, so it feeds from the bottom bobbin area. Let's see. This little guy here is your foot control pressure. So if you're working with really heavy stuff, you want to go down. If you're working with lightweight, starchy type material, you want it in the middle. Oops, sorry. And if you want it all the way up, then you're running like shears to lace or anything that's real lightweight. You don't want to destroy it through the feed dogs, okay? This is your reverse, so you push up. It has a spring on it, so it's spring activated, but you can see the whole thing's going in reverse. And this is your length. This here is, I think, is the way your position of your needle goes. So if you want to go to 0, it goes to the center. If you want to go more to a certain point, it causes the needle to move over. So what I did is, and it recommends it to be between the 3 and the 4, so it's right there. I think we're just going to go ahead and let it go to the center so it's easier to see. I think these little doodads on here and here, like reverse and forward, so you can run your which is your cams, and they go up in here. She has the cam sitting here and other tools that's in here. Okay, let's see. We're going to see how this one runs. This is your on and off button, and this is your feed dog drop. So you drop your feed dogs until you want to do free sewing, like doing embroidery or whatever you want to do. You can do it through the cam. So a lot of people ask me, can you do that? I said yes. So we're just going to go ahead and hear it. She needs to run this thing every day because I had to re-grease this area. Check the grease in here, and it's actually really gooey and slimy. So that's what grease is supposed to be, gooey and slimy. Make sure she keeps the whole thing oiled because it won't run if you don't keep it oiled. For every project, you do a project and you grease it. Then you do another project, not grease it, but oil it. Do another project and put more oil in. Grease should be good for 6 months. Anyway, let's see how it runs. Now, it's been having a few little weird issues, so we'll see if we can get it to run. Oh yes, it's running. She needs to run this every day because on metal sewing machines, they need to be running every day. Okay, let's see. I could do the reverse, but it's just too complicated. Okay, so it is a lot smaller. Let's see if we move this little guy just a little bit, because I think it has a lot to do with how wide the stitching is. This thing does too. Oh, shoot. Sometimes I have issues. You might have to use a hand wheel to make the thing move because it's been a while since it has moved. It's kind of like I always called it stuck in time. Yeah, it does have a lot to do with it. See, that's how small that is and how much wider that is. So this has a little bit to do with it. Maybe that is actually your, width, but it moves the needle. So I don't really know exactly what that does. I didn't sit and read the book. I'm the bad girl, but it's really not my machine. It's her machine. She knows how to use it. I don't know how to use it. I thought about doing the cams, but I don't really have time. She's coming to pick it up today, so we're trying to get this done. Let's keep going. So if it kind of sticks a little bit, it's because, where I took the grease out, like they had this whole area and this area greased. Don't do that. It gets in the belt and it messes the belt up. You just put oil in here, but don't put it in here unless you take this whole thing off, and then you can put it on the joint. But there is actually a hole right here under, if you pull the lid off, there's a hole there where you're supposed to put the oil. Don't put the oil over here because it gets on the belt and it messes the belt up, and then the belt falls apart. Anyway, so going on. So it sounds like it's struggling, but it still needs a little bit of work on getting the, that's why you use the hand wheel. Move the hand wheel a little bit. And it will sew. It just, needs to be used more often so it keeps on going. See how it does that, and then it keeps going? But it's normal. And she just needs to make sure she knows this. And then she's going forward. She can back it up and go forward. And, but the machine is running in really good condition, and it's doing well. Even underneath, it's doing well. So hopefully she'll get lots of use out of this and teach whoever's going to get the sewing machine how to use it. There we go. And that's it. And make sure when you're done with a project or get closer to, don't get this stuck down below. So it's easy to cut this off. And I didn't bring my scissors. So anyway, but if you have a sewing machine like this, and I like to hear from you, and what kind of issues you're having, or maybe you're just looking into maybe getting one. These are really heavy duty machines. They got a really big motor on them. And hopefully you get a lot out of this video, and hopefully she does too. And when we get our internet and our cell service gets a little stronger, since we had this big huge storm come through, it messed everything up, so I can't upload anything. I mean, I can go places where I have better signal, but it would still take forever to upload if you don't have Wi-Fi. Anyway, have a blessed day, and I hope you guys get something out of this. Enjoy your day.